Nicole.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, it's good to see you.
All right, have a good one.
Okay. In doing this work, one of the things that you're going to come across is, number one, the experience of vicarious trauma, right? How we as caregivers feel in caring for families who are struggling with these issues. And it does lead to a lot of burnout. It can lead to a lot of burnout. Hi. How are you? The fortunate thing is that my job is investigating the best science for stress reduction, right? And so I definitely practice what I preach. All right. Fantastic. You look great. We have to build in systems that allow folks to take, what I in my medical language would call universal precaution. If you're going to take care of a patient and they have a communicable disease, right, you have to put your mask on. Self-care, peer support, counseling, mentoring, when they're getting to that point where they said, you know what, I have just been managing a really tough case for a fair amount of time. I need to take a day off. Good morning. Good morning. One of the pieces, for example, that we did at the Center for Youth Wellness was we were able to get our entire team trained on meditation. And what we found was that led to significant decreases in folks' experience of stress in their day-to-day jobs and satisfaction.
All right. Any positive patient updates?
We spend a lot of time with things that don't work or aren't working or are challenging or things that fail. Mom is not in the picture, and I didn't get a clear story as to why Mom is not in the picture. And so you have to, I feel like, get real comfortable with working with something that feels like it's not working exactly the way that you'd like it to. And not only doing that, but motivating an entire team to figure out how do we bring our best to that situation. One of the things that families that experience a lot of adversity frequently may see is high turnover among the institutions that are caring for them. It's a best practice not only in self-care on the organizational level, but also in providing care to our families to make sure that we're going to be able to be here to do the work. Yeah.
I've been charged with taking care of your truancy. What that means.
You hear about everything these kids have to go through to get here, and I'm blown away that these kids get up and come every day and are willing to engage with us. As a mom and as someone who's experienced a lot of that turmoil, it's hard not to just say, well, let's scoop you up and I got an extra room at home and you can just stay there. I'm not their parent, and I have to establish those boundaries, not just for them, but for myself. When I go home, I have my own kids that I need to worry about, and I can't keep carrying that home. So I think that's probably the hardest part. I can't solve all the problems for these kids, and I don't know that I'd want to, because I don't know that I would be the same person had someone just walked in and handed me everything and figured it all out. I mean, I kind of feel like the struggles that I went through were for purpose, and that it's made me the person that I am. And so I try to pass that to these kids, that I don't know why right now you're doing this. I don't know why your parents kicked you out. I don't know why they use and tell you they hate you. No clue. But what I do know is some point in your life, if you get through this, one, you're going to be probably one of the strongest people I know, and two, you're going to see the point of why you had gone through it. I feel for you, dude. Like, not knowing what to expect sucks. Yeah. So, I mean, you have my number, you got your grandma's number. Why do some of them make it, and why do some of them not? I like to think that I got to contribute to some of those kids that make it, that they had that one or two or three people in their life that didn't give up on them.
I don't know.
Everyone says they hate drama. Everyone says that it finds them. But yet it's always...
None of our students are always exploding. None of our kids are always emotionally charged. They're capable of going there quickly. If I just wanted to not get angry all the time, Could I just not get angry all the time because I want to not get angry all the time? And when one of our students is having a day where you can just see they're elevated, they walk through the door and they're just radiating that energy, that's not about me. That's not about the teacher. That's about something that's going on in that kid's life. And clearly that kid hurts. That kid's having a bad day. This way of a brain that is just like this finely tuned survival brain. I can't take it personally if that behavior is not their choice. If they're not choosing to be a jerk in my room, then I have to let that go. And I want your wisdom to help me figure this out. You sure? You got it? Okay, get it right in the center. Even if I don't know the future is going to hold for these kids, knowing that today, instead of just staying home and doing nothing with their life, they came to us. I know they're going to be unconditionally loved for a year or 2 or 3 or 4 of their life. They learned something that they didn't know before. They became better human beings, if even just for a little bit. You look at the smiles on their faces, and that's enough to keep me coming back. All right, guys. Go.
I am sad, and you're gonna write because? Because? Okay, that's a 3rd grade word, but how can we figure it out? Show me. Go, do it. Let's erase
I
this.
don't worry about burnout because I do things for myself that I hope prevent that. So I've taken up running. I get in the car and literally like, no music, no talk radio, just nothing, just quiet. So I live about 30 minutes from work. So I've got 30 minutes to shake it off and to go into my home now, because here comes job number 4, is now being a parent and working with my own children. And then when I leave home, I've got 30 minutes to get totally ready to be at school. So I use that time to just decompress, get ready to do it all over again. And I really love what I do.
Shared a lot of the challenges that she went through that has impacted her life as a child into her adulthood. So, but thank you for sharing that, and hopefully we can, talk about more ways as a group that can help us unbottle some of that stuff.
She was very open about being involved in domestic violence.
Okay. We spend a considerable amount of time in the office, as we do in the homes. We do some meditation. And we do some breathing exercises ourselves, and we take walks. We go get our coffee, and that's been really helpful. I mean, a lot of times we just have to get up and get out. How are you? Hi. That was part of the education. I have my partner that I work with, and I was like, girl, can you believe this? Kind of thing. But she's not judgmental, and she just listens, and so it's just kind of like, got that off, now we can get back to work, kind of thing. When our clients get to a place where they have been empowered to sometimes you can do so much, but then you don't feel like it's appreciated. And I said, what we have to keep in mind is all we know is that we do the best that we can do.
Everybody says, people like us, that, do it, we get so burnt out. We'll get burnt out quickly. And after 21 years, the day that I become immune, the day that I become desensitized to what people go through is the day I'll quit my job.
Right.
Because how could we do it without caring?
I know, we do. And I think that, caring for them and helping them and seeing them have hope gives us hope to keep doing what we do.
Exactly.
But that's great. I mean, it's a lot of work, it's hard work, and it's not anything that's done, in a month or 2 months or 90 days.
Secondary traumatic stress is a normal reaction to abnormal circumstances. And you can see I'm trying to emphasize this. So I don't want folks in the room that might feel like you're experiencing these things to feel like there's something wrong with you, or I would say the opposite. And I think that much like having ACEs happen over and over and over again and how that impacts us, hearing about people who have experienced ACEs over and over and over again can certainly have an impact on us. Self-care is an ethical imperative. We have an obligation to our clients as well as to ourselves, our colleagues, and our loved ones not to be damaged by the work that we do. I think it's interesting that many of our professions have codes of ethics that deal with how we treat our clients, and that's essential. But we don't say much about how we treat each other or how we treat ourselves. And I think this would be a paradigm shift that would be helpful. How many of you have heard of burnout? Experienced burnout? See a few liars in the room? Yeah, yes you have, okay, anyways.
This can be tough, overwhelming work, right? And what I've come to really appreciate about working with the Center for Youth Wellness is that they believe in self-care, and one of the best ways to take care of yourself is to move. So there is no better way to move than to dance. So if we could get, is there some music we could get on? Can we get some music? All right, so anybody who wants to join with the staff and myself, get on up and let's shake it off along with Taylor Swift.